Chop, chop, choppity chop, 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 choppity chop. Cook it, bake, cook it, do-do-do-do, da-da-da, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Panic at the Pantry. I am Daniela Claude. I'm a professional chef, culinary instructor, and owner and founder of Claude Culinary.
And I'm Grant Hermes. I'm a journalist and passionate home cook. And this is Panic at the Pantry. We read recipes, not tragedies. We raid your pantries, hopefully to figure out what you can eat for dinner tonight with what you got. And this is a fun episode, Daniela, we got today. I don't want to give it away too much because spring is finally here, which means a whole bunch of new stuff to cook with, but also your favorite day of the year.
My favorite day of the year. It is my Christmas. Yay. It is Flower Day. You'd think if anyone's listening to this out of state, they're going to be like, what?
Yeah, I know.
So it's purely, and even in Michigan, it's purely a Metro Detroit thing. So at the Eastern Market, which, by the way, is one of the biggest markets in the country, I think I looked it up. It's top 4 or something like that. And we have something called Flower Day. It's the Sunday after Mother's Day every single year. And it's more flowers as far as the eye can see. Think rows of tulips in Holland and lavender fields in France, those kinds of flowers. I mean, flats and flats as flowers, really, as far as the eye can see, for all these outdoor sheds that we have. And my family and I go every single year early. Like Grant, we wake up at 4 a.m. We are serious about this, to be like out the door by 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. We go downtown. And we all come with different cars because we need a lot of SUVs to get all of the flowers that we buy.
Yep.
So we buy flats of flowers. That's where we buy our little seedlings for our vegetables, everything from our tomatoes to our little basil seedlings, etc. So we get all of it there at the best prices, and it's the best day. And then I have a sausage sandwich at like 10 a.m.
Where's your go-to spot in Eastern Market? Because I've got a couple, but it depends on when I'm there during the day.
Yeah, they open at different times. So there's this, I'm so bad because I've been going there since I was so little that I don't know the name. I just know it by sight.
Yeah.
It's so bad. So you know the place that they always have outdoor music, and it runs along on the opposite side of the markets, and they always have the outdoor grill. And they're always doing the sausage outdoor.
Soul
Is
food
it Bert?
Burt's. Yes, that is my favorite place over there.
You would know. You
like
would know.
No shade to Supino's that's over there, which is the pizza place, which is fantastic.
It's great.
But like if I want to pop in there for like a glass of wine or like an Aperol Spritz or something, like I will do that on a hot day. But like Burt's is the place to go over there. Oh my God, I love it.
Because they have it down. You know how they get you. It's the smell. They're grilling meat outdoors after you've been up since 5 a.m. They've got us. They have us figured out.
Yes, and it's always a good time. They're always playing like great Motown and like jazz and soul out and R&B outside. And like it's always kind of a block party out there. We went to Flower Day last year and we stocked up for like our front porch and for our balcony that we have in an apartment out back. And we're gonna do it again this year for sure. I know we were already talking about it. I think though, instead of last year, we did sort of this like really bright kind of like. We had these little, like, I don't know what they're called. These little Dr. Seuss looking flowers. Look like
the cones. I saw those.
Yeah. That's right.
At your house, the cone flowers. Yeah.
I think though this year we might do like sort of like an Italian palazzo kind of look in the back with like the tall but like short trimmed kind of like pine looking trees, the little cypress ones. I badly want to make this little balcony we have in the back look like the little outcropping of George Clooney's Lake Como. Like that's like I desperately want that to happen. I just want to sit out there with like a little like aperitif and like a little like I don't know, a little plate of something and just sit out there, listen to my Italian jazz, an espresso. That's all I want. An affogato in the afternoon. That's what I want.
I respect the shit out of that, honestly.
Yeah, right?
Like mad props. You want a little like Italian oasis out there.
Yeah. Light linen pants and a sleeveless shirt and a Negroni.
Okay. And now you're going into the outfit curating.
Yes. I mean, have my whole summer planned that way. Yeah.
That's another level. I love it. We want to hear from listeners too. What do you like to plant? This is my absolute favorite time of the year. I am chomping at the bit. Who else out there likes to plant? What do you plant? And I especially want to hear like what you just said, Grant. I have a house. I have pretty large garden beds and or garden
pretty
bed.
Large. It's white the garden bed. Yeah,
it's
several of them.
Great, but not everyone has that. And I lived in apartments for way more than half my life. And I pretty recently am in a house now, and I want to hear what people plant. Let us know. I'm very curious about how you do it. If you do it in pots, if you do it beds out in your deck out in the front. I'm curious.
I know last year I did get a whole row of like herbs, and I put them in little cups that we had that like hung on the balcony out there, and they
Mm-mm.
just didn't quite take. And I think it was a sun issue, and I was both overwatering some and underwatering some. I usually don't grow fresh herbs. I should, but I don't. And I might try again this year, but I'm a little skittish. So I'm hoping that somebody out there can help me get a handle on this. And if that means I got to send pictures of like what I'm working with, I am happy to do that because I lack a green thumb. I'm good in the kitchen. I'm not so great with growing the ingredients myself.
Yeah, that's great. We always love tips on gardening. That is something that, let us know in the comments and any of our social media platforms. But I will tell you, sunlight is huge. And if you don't have sunlight, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah. So it's one of those, you have to have at least 8 hours of sunlight every single day.
It's a weird spot. I don't want to you get sun in the morning, it's southern exposure. It's a weird spot. I did burn myself last year. I was sitting out on the balcony, and because of how the sun hits, it was only like 1/8 of my body that got sunburned, and it was like just my left arm. And so it was a very fun tan I had for like 6 weeks or something. But like that, I think that was the problem. Was like the basil fried and the thyme didn't get any sun because of where it's sat. But like maybe I just skip that this year and I get one of those fun indoor ones that like has the light.
Oh yeah, I have the Aero garden actually here in the kitchen too, which is great. The other thing that people do wrong all the time, and I hold true to this still, is that you cannot plant until Memorial Day in Michigan.
Yeah.
And people get super, I don't want to say greedy about it because I get it. Again, I'm chomping at the bits. So they get like, I'm going to put it in the ground, right when I get it now, or, at the beginning of May. Global warming. That's what I always hear. Global warming. It's getting so much warmer so earlier. And it is. But let me tell you, Michigan will throw you a curveball every single time, and she will snow in May. She will 100% snow in May. Don't do it.
Yes.
You wait until Memorial Day. That's my piece of advice on here. That and sunlight. There
it's just hard because those seed packets are just staring at you on your counter or like wherever you keep them, right? And you're like, that they want to get planted, but you got to hang on until Memorial Day weekend. Yes.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
But before we get into our tip of the week, let's do the socials real quick. Let's get this admin stuff out of the way. Click subscribe wherever you find the podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Leave a comment or review. It really helps boost the show. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It's all under Colada Culinary. On YouTube, it is at panic.at_the_pantry. And if you want to be a caller on the show to have us raid your pantry, because again, we take notes in real time. We're just making this stuff up as we go. There's no AI used here. We're not rating, our recipe books or cookbooks. We're doing this on the fly as we're looking at what you got here. You can DM us or you can email in at the description. We have that below if you want to be a caller. And please, we love it. No matter how little you think you have, it's never as little as you actually think. All right, let's get to our tip of the episode here, because this is one that I don't think about a lot because people don't think about this a lot. It's just, these are ingredients that are in every recipe and we just, they're on every table and we don't think about how we store them very much. So what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to talk about you're right, in every single thing that we're cooking: salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Salts of life. So salt and pepper bowls specifically that are sitting by your stove. So people have their salt and pepper in different apparatuses depending on what they like. There's everything from salt shakers to those really cool pepper grinders that you press the button,
Yeah.
And I'm making the thing with my finger right now. There is all different types of salts, which we've talked about in episodes before. There's sea salt, there's kosher salt, there is salt again in little bowls, or salt in big pots, etc. Okay, so this is my advice that I have for everyone. During classes, we always have salt and pepper in little deli containers that are waiting by the stove for people. And what I tell people in classes is I want you to do the same thing at home. I want you to have salt and pepper in small bowls or little containers right by your stove. And the reason for that is that cooking is a very tactile experience. It is not passive. And when you're doing something like using a salt and pepper shaker, it is passive. You don't really understand how much is going in. It's hard to see how much you're using. And I see people do this all the time. I just saw it. I won't name names. I just saw it on social media. Something that I see in classes a lot is when you take the measuring spoon and then you take the herb, like the herb canister, and you don't open it fully, and you use the shaker part, and you try to shake it into a measuring spoon. Yes, I see this constant. You're looking at me like
over what you're cooking. They were like shaking that into the
yes. Over what you're cooking, they'll take a measuring spoon.
Yeah.
And they'll take the salt shaker with a shaker or the herb container with the shaker and shake over the teaspoon or
that's
measuring
not gonna work.
spoon. I love it. You're like, that's not going to work. No, Grant, it's actually not going to work at all. People do it all the time. And it's very, I know, it was always a moment for me. Like, what made you decide to do that? Like, I want to know your thought process, but they're not really thinking. So first and foremost, when you're talking about spices, open the container, open it fully so you can dip the measuring spoon into the spices. That's a whole different story. With salt, same thing. If you need to measure it precisely, like for baking, you really do need to dip it into your salt. But going back to what I was saying about cooking being tactile, when you have your salt and pepper bowls right by your stove and you're reaching in your hand into those bowls to touch the salt and pepper, you are feeling it. Think of it like riding a bike. When you first rode a bike and you learned how to ride a bike, that muscle memory was inside of you. So, for example, I haven't ridden a bike in years, but I could get back on a bike and my body would remember in 20 seconds or so. It's, a little bit, and then off I went because my muscle memory is that strong. It's the same thing when you're touching food and you're touching things like salt and pepper. You will remember pretty much exactly how much you need to grab per the things that you're cooking, especially things that you're repetitively cooking over and over again. You want to use the same salt. We talked about diamond crystal salt and how incredibly important it is to use a good kosher salt throughout your cooking. And different salts are going to have different characteristics. So you might want to take a smaller pinch when you're working with a finishing salt like sea salt, etc. But feeling it is going to be the most important thing to really get it into your muscles and get it into your memory.
So I do this with salt, right? I've got a little salt well. Mine's a little wooden box. It's got a top on it that like slides open, and I put my fingers in and do that. I don't do this with pepper. I put the grinder right over whatever I'm cooking, and I twist and then let that in there. And I have a good idea of how much comes out of that grinder. Yes. But you're saying that I should actually grind that into a little bowl first and then use my fingers to take a pinch out like I would with salt?
So pepper's a little different, and here's why. Pepper you can actually see a lot easier than salt.
Sure.
So pretend you're putting that pepper over something like chicken. You can easily see how much you're putting on top of it. No problem at all. So I don't think that there's any issue with taking that pepper grinder and doing things like that. However, when you're perhaps building a sauce, and it's a little more difficult to see because it's going straight in right away, it might be better for you to actually grab it. So I would say with pepper, it would be both. A pepper grinder is really lovely, especially for a finishing little pepper on top of things like salads. It's so wonderful. However, a nice coarse pepper right by your side when you're building things where you can't see it as easily or it's not a finishing pepper is definitely essential.
I always wondered too about using like whether it's like a pepper grinder or let's like a spice shaker or something like that, right over what you're cooking where there's all that steam. Does that get into, let's say the pepper grinder here, does that affect the pepper itself? Like, do I get clumps of pepper and they land in different ways and will that affect the dish? I'm always worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you honestly, I don't use one myself. I don't have one of those automatic pepper grinders. Everything's in bowls because they need to touch everything. But yes, you can 100%, you have to clean those things. That's what people don't realize. And with the salt, it's the exact same thing because it can, what's the word? Like not coagulate, but congeal, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like
it clumps up.
It clumps up, right? Salt's going to do that. Pepper's going to do that. So you really do have to clean those things underneath quite periodically. Dump out the pepper, put some new pepper corns in it, clean out the bottom, etc. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something you want to do on a regular basis.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start cracking the pepper first into a bowl and then putting it in the dish and then avoiding scratching my nose in between. And then
I have how many times, because I also, again, be touching absolutely and positively everything. And I'll take, peppers all the time, and you can see them hanging behind me here for those of you who are watching YouTube. And I'll take them down, and I'm cracking them with my hands, and I'm, splitting them with my hands. And every single time, what do? I have an itch near my eye. Geez,
and then you're just out, and then it's just like you're just
Every
like
time.
squinting the entire time, like
Every time. Ask me if I've ever learned my lesson. I'm 40 years
never.
old. Ask me. Never. Never. It's not going to happen.
Okay, I'm gonna try this out. I want to know when people try this too, if they think this is a better system for them. I like the idea of having this stuff ready to go right next to where I'm cooking too, because then also like I'm not looking for it. I'm not reaching for a grinder every single time. I don't have to reach for where the sol well is every single time. Like it's just right there, ready to go. And it adds sort of like I think kind of a fun like little flourish to what I'm cooking. A little bit. It's a fun little like little dash of this, like little dash of that. Like it's a little more active in the cooking process, which is already like part of that tactile thing. Very fun. I love it.
I love it.
Okay, when we come back, we have a very fun guest today that I'm not going to introduce beforehand because I want it to be a little bit of a surprise.
Oh, okay. I love surprises.
All right, so our guest today is you, Daniela. We are going to we're going to raid your pantry, do a little panic on the home front here, and see what you're working with. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous to do this.
Why?
What? Because I've never actually, have I ever actually cooked for you? Maybe once.
Yes. No, you certainly have. You've cooked for Becca and I before. One I think was a little impromptu. We had just drank a little too much.
That's right.
Yes,
right.
and I 100% know you have the skills to do this. And the other reason why I'm so excited to do this, and I'm so excited that you were on board, is that we have now done this this is episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
And every single time, and this has really gotten to be existential thought for me, that people have said, we have nothing, there's nothing, I haven't stocked, I haven't grocery shopped, my fridge is barren. And we open it up and it's this cornucopia of things that you can cook with. Yeah. And we're both like, what are you talking about? There is so much stuff here. And the existential thought is, in America, we are so blessed with this much food all the time. It's the opposite problem of I don't have anything. It's actually I have too much.
Yes, it is. It's the curse of choice. Honestly, is often our problem. Yes,
and just people don't know what to do with the choices they have. So I was excited that you were on board for this, is because I actually keep a fridge that is pretty bare compared to anything that we've seen before. Because I shop when I need it and I don't like to waste food. So I know in my head roughly what I'm going to make, or I put things together. So this is going to be the fridge that I think should be the model of, hey guys, this is what we're looking for.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right, let's see it. Also, there's a very special thing here because when I make this recipe here, you're going to cook it, but you're going to cook it live, right?
I am. So here's what we're going to do, everyone. We are going to go Facebook Live with this. Need to cut for a second because I forgot the date that I said that I'm going to do it.
May 12th.
Where am I? Okay, May 12th. And did I say a time on it?
No, you didn't.
When is May 12th? Is May 12th? What date is that? Or what day of the week?
Day of the week?
May.
It's a Tuesday.
Great. Okay, it's going to be at 6 p.m. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we are going to go Facebook Live with this recipe May 12th at 6 p.m. That is a Tuesday. So May 12th at 6 p.m. We're going to go on Facebook Live. And you and I don't know if we've decided if we're going to FaceTime with this or we're gonna do something with this.
We'll do something with it. I'll probably go live. I'll probably go live on Instagram too at the same time. And we'll probably FaceTime something here, and we'll figure that out. But I want to see this definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna cook it exactly how you told me. We're gonna make sure. Well, I'm not gonna take notes because I'll be over here, but you're gonna take notes for me.
I'll write it up. Yeah, you'll get the entire recipe. Yeah.
So you're gonna stick everyone, and then also something new that we're doing. I don't know why I didn't think of this before. We're gonna post every single recipe that we are doing during these episodes on my website. So under the pantry, whatever one that we decided to do and we created on the spot, we always have notes. I'm going to make sure to write out a recipe so people have it. You can go to the pantry, you can watch this on YouTube, and you can see the recipe that we created. We're going to do the same thing, and you get to see it Facebook Live. So I'm excited.
Super fun. All right, let's do it.
Here's a really weird fact about me. I have an allergic/adverse reaction to coffee. I know that's a weird one. It's literally the only thing that makes me pretty darn sick. And it's not caffeine, it's coffee. And I discovered it when I was pretty young, about 15 or 16. I really get extremely sick. This is a cooking show, so we're not going to go into the unappetizing details. But since then, I have really been an avid tea drinker for most of my life. I love tea. Whenever you see me here drinking it on the show, it's tea in my glass. And it's usually green tea. It's how I get my caffeine in the morning. I'm partial to green tea because it's a natural antioxidant and it's full of health benefits. And it really does truly wake me up. So when I found Aspire Drinks, I was hooked immediately. It's better than an energy drink that really makes me feel horrible after. I get all the things that you don't like. I get the crash, I get the jitters, I don't end up sleeping till 2 a.m. like last night. That was fun. So Aspire Drinks is really different. They're green tea based and they have 80 milligrams of natural caffeine, no sugar, no crashes whatsoever. And I swear to you, this really does work. And again, I don't really have a good reaction to these things. So the fact that I had a wonderful reaction means good things. The bubbles are perfect. I have to have bubbles. I love them. There's extra benefits, your vitamin B, your C, your biotin, your ginger, etc. There's 6 different flavors, and I'm working through all of them. They have less of that extreme, again, kick and more of really a natural boost. Like that tea. I always want to take a tea break. I say to everyone, like in England, they have a tea break. That's what it feels like. So everyone, don't spend a fortune going to the gas station. We all do this. We go to the gas station, we go to the convenience store for a one-off energy drink, and it just costs so much money at the end. Instead, go to aspiredrinks.com. That's ASPIRE drinks.com and use our promo code No Panic and get 20% off your order. Of course, we get a share of whatever you spend using our promo code. So if you try it, you support our work and you get the benefit of being hooked on our new best friend, Aspire Drinks. So again, go to aspiredrinks.com and use our promo code No Panic at checkout and get it straight delivered to your door. So convenient. The links are in the show notes. Everyone give a warm
Okay. Your home is so clean right now.
Oh,
Look at
welcome.
that.
Well, it's just me and my puppy and my anal retentiveness. So it's organized, but the excuse is there's no children and there's no spouse to fuck it up.
Fair. But still, I don't know. We're messy and like it's just me and Becca in the house. So like I get it.
Yeah.
But good. Also, I realized that I said earlier that I don't think I've ever cooked for you. That was 100% a lie. We met in a cooking competition.
Yeah,
I was
yes.
literally
And
cooking
you were
for
cooking
you. What
for
was I
me.
thinking?
Yes.
Yeah, you
That-
were the
that
judge. So
too.
what was I talking about? And I think I meant like this, like in our homes or whatever. But
For
okay.
the Facebook Live, you could come over too. That would be fun.
That would be very fun. I would like to do that. I think I could do that. I could just be at your kitchen. That'd
and then Becca can just sit and we'll cook for her. She loves that. So
which is the norm, which is how this works. Absolutely. Yeah. As is her way. I love her. That's the arrangement we have.
It's fantastic.
Okay, let's take a look at the fridge first. I want to see what I'm working with here.
Okay. So
Woo! This is the fridge we have been waiting for.
This is it. I knew you'd say that.
Okay. Folks, there's not a lot in here. I'm seeing a lot of the back wall of this fridge, which is not a thing we get a lot. Let's go top to bottom.
Okay.
Okay, so we have what's on top there.
Okay, so at the top here we have a couple cartons of eggs.
Okay.
We have some yogurt. These are just little snacks for myself.
Okay. Are they all plain or are they flavored?
No,
or we
they're
got?
flavored. They're flavored because they're snacks for myself. This is the plain one though. I have a Bulgarian yogurt that is plain. I have back here a Mexican crema back there, and then I have some duck fat.
Okay.
As well back there. This is the dairy because yes, I am that anal retentive. We have our bread section over here. Yes, friends. We have
it's all labeled. She's got label maker labels on them. Yes.
I'm obsessed. I have a problem. Again, it's just me. I can do whatever the hell I want. Here's my dad's handmade bread back here and some flatbread tortillas. And I make wraps and stuff for myself.
Okay. What kind of bread is it? Your dad made? Is it just like
he's making a regular leaven loaf, so it's mostly white bread, a teeny bit of wheat flour, great for toasting and sandwiches, etc.
Okay.
Then we have cheese drawer. I actually don't know what's in here. It's been a second. Butter. I have to separate the butter for classes too because I keep things in here. So butter.
Okay.
Parmigiano, more Parmigiano. That's it for cheese.
Okay.
Just Parmigiano and some butter.
How much butter would you say you have?
3 pounds.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We could do that. All right.
I have enough butter.
Yeah, I think we're set on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good on the butter. Um, so what do we have? So we have some cherry, some vine-grown little tomatoes back here.
Yeah.
Little babies. We have some chickpeas. About a half a can of chickpeas.
Okay.
I have some salsa that I did not make, but I love this Westbourne salsa for a little snackaroo. And then I have my guilty pleasure, which our last guest, Michael, introduced me to, the big, great cookie.
Oh yeah.
I love those. I don't care. I adore them.
The big cookie dough trays. Yep.
Some crushed nuts. We have some stock. I ran out of homemade stuff. I haven't had a chance to make stuff, so I have some chicken stock.
Okay.
And Parmigiano rinds, a ton of rinds from my last class that I just have to freeze.
Okay. Lemons.
I have lemons. There's a lot of lemons from leftover class, so I had to juice them. So there's a ton of lemons.
Cool.
There's dog food. If you can do anything with that, Grant, I'll be very impressed. Yeah.
We could make some chili. Okay.
Oh,
What's in? Don't do that, people. Don't do that.
So
I don't care if it's
gross.
I don't care if it's farmer's dog, whatever it is. Don't do that. What's in the back? Is that breadcrumbs?
We have homemade breadcrumbs back here. These are preserved lemons. That my sister helped me do. For tangines, etc. This is a chili crisp that I've made. Delicious.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you some. And these are preserved chipotles back there as well.
Nice. Are they like pickled or are they just preserved?
They're preserved, just salt, no vinegar.
Okay. What is in the drawers?
Produce drawers, more lemons. Again, I have to juice them. These are leftover from class because we had to zest a ton.
So many. Less than ideal yellow pepper. I think we're gonna say no to that one. Go ahead and
Bye.
Yeah.
Gross.
No
Sorry.
thanks.
I didn't clean out. I was true to my word. I did not clean out. This is ew. Okay.
Pepper's not surviving. This is another liquid green pepper. Okay.
I didn't clean out. Oh no. Oh goodness. This has mold all over it too. Oh wow.
Some sort of mango orange persimmon.
It's an orange. Yeah.
Orange.
Orange.
Unrecognizable fruit.
Scallions.
Scallions.
English cucumber.
Cool.
More scallions that are on their way out. Some limes and another science experiment.
Ooh, that thing winked at me. I don't like that. Oh, no thank you.
I don't like that at all. There's something
It is. Kill it with fire. No thank you. Yeah, get that out of here. Ooh, yeah, wash your hands. Oh.
I told you I wasn't going to clean it out, and I resisted. I'm like, nope, not going to do it.
That drawer might need a spray of something after this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really gross. There was something alive on there. Okay. We're going to throw out these limes too.
Yep.
I don't like to waste food. Proceeds to like, oh, what the hell's in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The other drawer.
Herbs. Okay.
Herbs. We have a lot of herbs because I just got some fresh stuff. So I have some curly.
Got it. Curly parsley.
Parsley, because I wanted to make some tabbouleh. Mint. So again, I wanted to make some tabbouleh. I have some washed and fresh kale and romaine. Oh no, kale and red leaf in here that I washed. Okay. And then we have carrots, celery. That time is no good anymore. And some more parsley in here. And that's it. And then, of course, I have some condiments on the side over here.
All right. What do we work with the condiments here?
So at the top here, we have it's a lot of preserved stuff. So this is some pickled banana peppers from the summer that I pickled. We have some Dijon and 2 different traditional Dijons, ketchup and mustard. We have the Alkanator tahini.
Yep.
The mayo, fish sauce, soy sauce. Below here, Momofuku's chili crunch.
Chili crisp.
Chili crisp we talked about last time.
So
Calabrian chili spread, sambal. A couple different types of hot sauce, including sriracha. Over here, more Calabrian chili paste, capers, tomato paste, some leftover jam, and my anchovy.
Okay. I'm forming an idea.
Okay.
Let's. Are those cocktail cherries too? Is that what you got there?
Yes,
for your
cocktail cherries for my drinks. Caramel.
Of course.
Yeah, and then some more leftover jams that I have, some yeast and some baking soda up here. Not really.
What are the jams?
The jams I have Mirabelle plum when we made our plum sauce for class a couple weeks ago.
Yum. Okay.
I have a fig spread, and I have one my mom cherry serves.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just had a fun idea that I want to use, but I don't know how to use it. Okay. All right. We're a little light on protein, so let's see the freezer.
Okay. Freezer is where I keep my proteins.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I'll cook. Since I'm working so much, I'll cook when I need to cook.
Right.
So I do have some things here that are very available everything's available to defrost. Tons of Parmigiano rinds in here.
Great.
Peas.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of venison.
Venison.
This is sirloin tip venison. No, this is beef. I'm sorry. This is beef sirloin tip.
Okay.
This is a pork beef mix, ground. This one isn't the venison jar. This is some sausage, some mild Italian sausage.
Okay.
And then here's the best. Down here. All right, I can get it. So this is your venison round steak. My wonderful and sweet neighbor, and between him and my dad, I am stock venison. I mostly cook with venison because it is sustainable, and we're in Michigan, and that's what we do.
Yes, absolutely.
I have some frozen basil from last year. That's a whole nother tip of the week that we're going to do.
Yeah.
Frozen parsley stems from last summer. Some frozen ground beef down here. This is salmon fillets.
Okay.
Frozen salmon fillets. So yeah, lots of protein in here. Like I said, I take it out. My sweet treat to myself, some Haagen-Dazs vanilla bean.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Chicken bones.
Got it. Soup stock stuff.
Yep. Chicken feet, I think so. Yeah, some broken up chicken feet. And then more venison. Venison tenderloins, venison backstrap.
Yep.
Venison ground beef or ground venison.
Venison?
Lots of venison. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we can use absolutely anything we can use anything in here. I don't have time to defrost by the time we go Facebook Live, so.
Yeah.
And then up here, more venison. Ground venison. I have pesto from last year, frozen. Garden ragu, frozen. I do have maseca in here for tortillas.
Okay. And then let's take a look at the pantry here.
Okay. And yes, because I know you're going to ask, of course. There's garlic.
I know.
Onions.
Yep. Shallots, garlic, onions.
We're good.
Yeah.
So here's where people who are watching on YouTube are going to go, "Oh my God!" But this is the way that
this is an embarrassment of riches in here. I have seen this before, and it is truly something.
I'll get this out of the way. This is again my anal retentiveness and overdrive, but yes, everything is labeled in categories. It's just the way that I do things. So
look, an organized kitchen is an easy kitchen to work in.
Yes.
It's how I operate too. Like
Yes.
my spice drawer is like that too. Yes.
Yeah, it's the way that it is. So we have lots of things here that are kind of, categorized for beans. So I have right here, split orange lentils. I have English words, Daniela, chickpeas back there, and then and then kidney beans that are all dried back there as well. And then I have flour, white flour, wheat flour, and sugar here.
Okay.
I have sunflower seeds, arborio rice, and farro back there. Basmati rice. See, brown lentils, more farro, popcorn, powdered sugar, oats. I have back there couscous, quinoa, and brown sugar. So lots of grains, lots of different types of grains.
Okay.
I'm just going to say, as far as spices, the answer is yes. That's all I can. That's just yes.
Okay. I have a couple questions about spices because as I'm thinking here, cumin, yes. Do you have sumac?
I believe so. Let's see. Under S, do I have sumac? S. Oh, hold on. Hold, please. Yes. There we go.
Okay.
Sumac.
Lovely. Okay. I should have everything else. Okay. Perfect.
And then we have an assortment. I mean, it would take me forever to go through this. But I have your, acids and hot sauce here. We have any sweeteners like honey. We do have more grains here. I have a really fun, you would love this. I have really fun grits from the Carolinas. So this is from South Carolina. These are stone ground grits.
Oh, yum.
And then I have Carolina gold rice, and I just have a little bit left.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean, I'm not going to make you use that. And I don't.
Oh, I don't care. Are you kidding? That's fun.
That is, yeah. That is fun.
I do have
changed my whole idea.
Hey, I had to tell you, I have bulgur. I have quinoa. An array of different types of flours, including semolina. We have some more fats down here. So we have truffle oil, more tahini, coconut oil, some various nuts and seeds like hemp hearts. I have more dried beans like pinto beans, panko, and then some canned stuff. I do have things like coconut milk. This is honestly I have giardinella here, homemade stuff. This is a really good lesson in the things that you should have in your kitchen.
Yes. It's this is all a really good assortment of all the kind of building blocks of what should be the basic ingredients of stuff, which is funny because as I think about what I have in my pantry right now, when you think about the food pyramid that we all grew up with, not the one that's out there right now because it's weird, but I'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's super weird.
But think about what those elements are, and what goes into a balanced diet. That kind of is what you need to build a dish. The salt, fat, acid, heat of those things, the proteins of those things, the carbohydrates of those things, that all actually comes together to build something that is what we would consider to be a meal. And so you've got all the building blocks of that there, even if it feels weird to be combining something like, a couscous and a coconut milk, right? That's your fat and your carb, and then fish, and we're kind of nearing Southeast Asian food.
Yep.
Thing.
Absolutely.
Because something like that, at which as far as how Panic at the Pantry works, that's kind of how my brain works. Is these are these pieces here, and this is kind of how you get all these pieces of a meal together, and then this is kind of the flavors and mouthfeels, textures of what this kind of food is like, and then do we have the other pieces of this? So, in the spirit of that, this is kind of where I'm heading with what I think we can do with what we've got.
Okay.
So because we are in Michigan and we are so close to Dearborn, I think that it's a very fun idea to do kind of a play on a Lebanese Middle Eastern steakhouse meal with the venison tenderloin.
Love it.
So
okay.
You're going to make a rub out of sumac, cinnamon, cumin, a little bit of allspice, and then I think that you should mix that in there with a little bit of the Calabrian chili paste.
Okay.
And put that on there, and then salt and pepper, and I'll write down the amounts of this thing, but
we can figure it out. Yeah, we can
figure that out.
Yeah.
But rub that over there, and then I would more or less make that into a marinade. We're going to leave that overnight with, I would say, 2 tablespoons to maybe 3 tablespoons of, which is a quarter cup, but like of red wine vinegar. And I'll have you poke some holes in the tenderloin so that permeates.
Break it down.
Breaks it down a little bit. Tenderloin doesn't tend to be super tough, but there are certain fibers that run through tenderloin that
venison is tough no matter what. It is the way that
it's
is.
Gamier.
Yeah.
But I also think that the flavors of this specific kind of spices that I'm building are very specific kind of Middle Eastern spices that will play really nice with the gamier flavor. Like sumac has a sort of orangey, woodier flavor. The cinnamon, those things will sort of bring out some of these flavors. And then let that sit overnight. And then I think you can just roast this. And it's a roasted tenderloin in the same way you would treat like a roasted beef tenderloin or a roasted pork tenderloin.
Okay.
And cook that to doneness, that, of your liking. I don't know how you like your tenderloin, or how you like your venison. I like my game meat on the medium rare side, but that's up to you.
I'm open to it. I use what I usually have, because those are the first time I've actually had tenderloins, which I'm really excited to work with. And I want to go with it because I usually have this backstrap and I just braise the living crap out of it because it needs to be braised.
It needs to be.
So this is this is actually new territory, and I love the idea of trying to roast it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and like you'll roast at the very end. You'll blast it with the broiler to get a nice crust on the edge of it.
Yeah.
And so we'll have that there, and then as that's baking, as that's roasting, basically, we're gonna make a base that is a like hummus base with the tahini, with the chickpeas you've got, with the lemon juice that you have in there. I also want to use some of the greens that you have, which are the kale and red leaf, that are in there. And then I like the idea of more or less making a little chutney with with some shallots, a little bit of red wine, that fig jam, and mint. And putting those together. And then when we plate the tenderloin as it comes out, slice it so that it's fairly thin, finger width. So, I don't know, quarter inch, half inch thick.
Yeah.
And then we'll plate that across the hummus itself, and then put the chutney on top of that. And then I think if you want to go for it, I will have you make some flatbread, some naan. Just basic, right? Just basic water, butter, flour.
We can make some naan. Yeah.
And I wouldn't make a regular listener do this, but it's you, and I know you can do it because I've seen you do it. And make that. And so this is a finger food meal. So you take take some naan,
with my hands. Yeah.
Eat it with your hands. As we were talking about being tactile with salt and pepper earlier, I was like, oh, this is kind of a fun idea. And so take the naan, take some of the venison, wipe it through the hummus, and that's your meal right there.
That sounds freaking delicious.
What do we
think?
And
on top of it, I don't even know if you know this or you did it on purpose, but 2 things. Number 1, I have a class that is a Middle Eastern fusion class that is literally this, but with ground lamb on top of the hummus, where you eat with your hands.
I might have known about this beforehand. It might have been on my brain.
I love this. So number 1, I love it because, again, I'm always into self-promotion. I don't really care. That's where I'm at. And also, I do private in-home events where we learn how to make naan. So this is just a promote. You're just gassing me up here.
I am a little bit, but also that was unplanned. I knew about those classes because every time I see them, they make me hungrier. But and I know that I'm missing out by not being able to go to every single one of them. But it was unplanned because I like the idea of making this kind of game meat with these spices. I think that's a really interesting idea.
I love it.
And putting these things together. And I think that adding some of the richness that comes with like a hummus and a tahini in that way. We could even make this like a garlic hummus if you wanted to. I think that's a bit much, but we could play around with it.
I always put a couple garlic cloves in it, honestly.
I mean, I do
really
too, but I meant like a real one. Like we could even
like roasted garlic.
We could do a thing and like confit the garlic in the duck fat you've got up there, right? Like we could like do it. And like, make that a deal and like add that extra fat back into the game meat in the venison. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of funk, right? To go with the venison and the duck. But like, we could do it.
We could do it.
but like we can even mess around with that. But like I think that it's a fun play on these like textures and where your fats are coming from, where the heat and spice is coming from. You don't normally associate things like heat with venison unless it's in like a chili, but then that's coming from somewhere else. It's not a part of the meat itself. So like I think that's fun here.
Yeah, I
what do
love
we
that.
think?
I love it. I think it's so fun. And also it's some cool things again that I've never done with venison tenderloin before. So I'm all in. You know I love a good experiment where I'm there.
Okay. Then I for once I'm going to write up this recipe and I will send it over
Yay!
to you. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
so excited.
Then I guess we'll be right back and then we'll wrap up. Okay. I had to record here because we were like talking about, and it was too good to not roll on. We have been talking the last like, I don't know, 7 minutes or whatever about like hand food and like eating with your hands. Cause like, I think a lot of people are going to hear this and be like, I don't want to eat with my hands. And like, then I did the nerd thing. Cause I do this once every episode where I'm like, actually food. And like, and like we have silverware that is born out of a history of like not using silverware, and it's a lot of things in our history of like not just food things, but like lots of things. Like it was just fashionable because a certain ruler had a picadillo about something. Salt and pepper comes from one of the Louis, I think 14th. I don't remember which one.
They were, like I said, they were all Louis.
They were all
Like,
Louis.
for the God's sake.
Like,
there's like one Charles in there.
Yeah, right. Like he didn't like spice, but liked salt and pepper because that's flavor. And so then everything at some point was just salt and pepper because that's what was fashionable because the king liked it. Forks, like we had knives and spoons because we had soups and had to cut things, and like no one's going to stick their hand in a hot pot to stir a soup. So we had spoons forever, but like forks aren't really a thing. So we're eating with our hands in the Middle Ages. And then we get like Catherine de' Medici, who is the wife of Henry II in like the 1500s, who is from Italy, the Medici families, who brings the fork to France. And Henry II is kind of, let's say, a little tactile sensitive, we'll call him, right? Like, I don't want to make a diagnosis here. I'm not a doctor, but like
he was a freak.
He doesn't like the way that feels, kind of a guy.
I'll say it for you. He's a freak.
They were all inbred. It was,
They were, oh my God, so inbred.
And so he doesn't just use the fork for the Italian food that Medici brings with her, but also everything else. And then all of a sudden forks become fashionable in the court there. Later, the Germans are like, hey, this is better if we add another tine to the middle of this fork. And it's not just 2 prongs, but it's 3. And like that's like a couple hundred years, so forever people are just using 2-prong forks, which is weird. But that's how we get forks, is because technically Henry II was like, I don't like my hands getting sticky, and like that's why we use utensils. But so much of the world still only uses the utensils that we have on the ends of our arms, and I like that. There are plenty of restaurants around where we live that still serve food that way. If you eat a lot of specifically East African food. I'm from Minnesota, so if you go to like a Somali restaurant or Ethiopian restaurant, they will still serve you without utensils in a lot of places. And it's a different experience. It's a way more, I think, visceral in a good way experience. It connects you to the food in a different way.
It does.
I don't think it's better or worse. I think it's just a different experience with the food. So it's a fun thing to try. In the way that in the same way that like eating pizza with a fork and knife for lot of people is weird, right?
You're a psychopath if you do that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like, what's happening here? Unless it's like a deep dish or something else, so that's a different thing. But like I think that's this is a fun dish to sort of like try that out with. So I'm really excited to like write this down and then to like have you make this, to have you try this thing. And like
my sister always says, and my brother-in-law too, that pita bread is the perfect vessel. It is the perfect utensil, and we're gonna make pita, and it's gonna be great. But we were up north for New Year's, and my brother-in-law was teaching us. He's Lebanese, and he was teaching us all to make that perfect cone with the pita bread, which we all failed miserably. And he was yelling at us. He's like, "You're horrible," and we're like, "We don't know what we're doing," but I made it was hilarious. but I made shakshuka and I put it, in us. And I'm like, we don't need plates. We have this beautiful pita bread. So we're all making cones and we're just getting in there as a family. And you're right. It's a different experience and it's so communal.
Yes.
And I adore that about eating that way.
Yes. There is
It's
something.
Lovely.
Yeah. There's something really communal and really lovely about it. And so like, I think that this is one of those dishes in which like I should come over and be there for it, because if we're going to do this eating with the hands, I should be there. More hands are better.
You
Absolutely.
should. And then we can all talk about the French more and how the Italians taught the French how to cook, which I told you before offline here. I will die on that hill. That Caterina di Medici brought over culture, food, and taught the French how to cook. I don't want to hear it anymore that the French invented everything. They did not.
Look, they were just kind of chasing truffle pigs around and chickens around the Normandy forest for a couple 100 years until Medici showed up, and then she was like, hey, we could put this stuff in butter, and they were like, what? And then like the French become like, oh, everything is a sauce, and like that's it. Yeah. Now I've culturally offended two different people, so that's probably a good place to wrap up.
Let's wrap this up. No more. Shh, I promise.
Before a ban from Europe. This has been so much fun. I'm very excited to do this. I will get this recipe to you as soon as possible so that the people can also get this recipe and then go watch you on May 12th. Yes.
Yay. So we'll see you on May 12th, everyone. That is our show. Thank you so much for watching. As usual, please tag us. If you have a question, if you want to be on the show, if you want to show us a picture of your fridge and you're like, what can I make? We would be more than happy to answer. So tag us and follow us. I am everywhere at Kalota Culinary. That's Kalota Culinary on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
You can find the show at panic.atthepantry on YouTube. And then you can also find me at Grant Hermes on pretty much everything. On Instagram, it is Grant_Hermes because Instagram is weird.
So again, everyone, thank you so much. We look forward to hearing from you, and we will see you next time.
Chop, 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 choppity chop, chop.